Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lighting is here today to do HunterXHunter 2011 episode 99 review. That is 991 episode away from the big 100. So, wow. Okay. This is a new time slot, so I'm not used to this at all. I mean, like, I forgot it came out on Tuesday. I'm like, oh shit, it came out on Tuesday. And then it was like Thursday when I watched it. But then I had to get a flight over back to Long Island because I'm going to Comic-Con. So I was like, okay, alright. So let me just do it right now. So it's just done. Because I don't have to do 2 next week. But that being said, alright. Let me get some fucking light up in this bitch. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Alright, focus. This week's episode of HunterXHunter. Well, mainly it was the fight between the owl Chimera Ant and the bat Chimera Ant gets going. And also, there was a lot of important talk here going on with Morel and Nove. And also, there was a situation with Knuckle and Shoot. They sensed G2's on the move. And the whole country of East Gorteau is actually put on lockdown. And Killua is actually the one responsible for that because early on in the episode, he was going about with this plan and he was informing people in villages about the selection process and how a lot of them were being killed off. So that's the episode in a nutshell. But before I go more in detail, I was looking. The main focus, the main thing that I had my eyes on in this episode was the animation. And the reason why is because I had heard, because you know how I told you guys in the last episode review I did of HunterXHunter, or I think the one before that, where like there was going to be a time slot change in the actual show. And I think a person in the comment section, or at least a few guys in the comment section, they said that sometimes they do change the time of a series because they either the show is getting bumped down in quality when it comes to animation or bumped up in quality. I mean, it was hard to really gauge what these guys were saying because they themselves, I think, weren't too sure. Either way, I was looking if there was any change in the animation, and I couldn't really tell. I kind of felt that it was a little bit worse than what I'm usually used to, but then again, this episode's not a prima episode. It's basically like it's a fight between like these fodder Chimera Ants, and then a lot of talking, So it wasn't really like monumental when it came to overall story this episode. So therefore, there wouldn't be a need to have such amazing high quality stuff going on in the episode. But there were some parts of the animation where I was like, that's pretty good. Like for example, when Knuckle was sensing G2, it was like his head phased in. Or like it phased out black. The background is black, and like we see G2 like in his own like where his head image is, and G2's actually running, and like we see like the stars like and stuff. Also, we see an individual. We see someone or something. Like when Killua was on the move, we see him running through the forest, and like there's this area where like all of a sudden like there's this huge aura. He's like, aura. Well, I can't go that way. And then we see some individual like something like in the middle of this huge pillar. And like there's this huge massive aura. So that was also very good animation. But at the same time, when Gon first powered up for his rock, that I think could have been done better animation wise. I also felt that when it came to just Morel walking around the office, that could have been done better animation wise. So I don't know, like this episode when it came to animation, I was very, very, very picky, and I was very aware of any, like, I guess, even though it's not a word, choppiness in the animation, if there was any, that I noticed because of what people were telling me when I announced, or when I did a news reveal, when I announced pretty much that there was going to be a time slot change in the anime. So I just didn't know. I couldn't really gauge if there was a drastic change or not. For me personally, it did seem a little bit worse. But at the same time, or I should say, a little bit below average when it comes to the normal animation that we see. But then again, the episode itself wasn't that monumental when it came to the overall story. So I don't know. I have to see a few more episodes to actually see if the animation did decrease in quality. Because my whole thing was that because they had a late night time slot, I was assuming that because they had a late night time slot, they were going to show a lot more gore, a lot more blood. And when it came to the actual combat between Gon and Owl, they didn't show any blood at all. But then again, at the same time, I remember in the manga, there was no blood there either, because it was like Gon was just there to beat them. Like, he didn't actually go around killing them, no. Like, he just beat them. So, or like he knocked them out. So I can't really gauge, I can't really tell, to be honest, when it comes to animation. If it's better or worse, you guys, let me know how you guys felt in the comment section down below, because I couldn't tell myself. I really couldn't. But overall, the episode, again, the fight was really simple between, well, it's straightforward, actually. And Gon wants to actually beat them, and he's still being tailed by the chameleon guy. And Gon actually did some really cool thing, where he actually took a tree, swung it across, because after he knew that the owl, well, the gorilla owl and the bat have their moves in sync with the ultrasonic waves and the brute force that the guy had in the gorilla mode, he basically took the tree, swung it around, made this huge like wind, and then what she was sensing was the wall behind her, because the sound waves were reverberating because of the force and the wind that Gon had just unleashed via that swing of the tree. So she got blasted in. Gon's like, fuck it, yeah, punches her right into the wall, into the edge of the cliffside, and straight up like one shots this gorilla guy. Straight up, say Shogu actually runs with that, which is the first time we've actually seen him run with the rock. Because normally it's like Gon, just stand there, say Shogu, straight power up, everything's shaking and shit. Like, oh my god, go, whoa. But this time we actually run with that punch, and the guy goes flying. So that was cool. That was cool. It wasn't like fantastic, but it was just cool. Overall, a simple, good fight. Now, when it came to the Killua stuff, Killua's actually on the move. He's doing his job. He's doing his job quite well, and there's no way to explain it. He's just doing his job. And we have a scene where Neferpitou is actually debating with Shaiapouf. While, of course, violin. It's like this guy, and he, like, whoa, this guy, Shaiapouf, and he's just playing this shit like all the fucking time, man. Kind of makes me want to play the violin. Yeah, gotta take some classes, man. It was still, we move on. It basically, Shaiapouf says, listen, it's probably just a trap. It's probably a trap to bait you in, because she wants, like, I want to kill whoever's doing this, who's ever killing my controlled humans. And then he's like, nah, it's cool. Let the other guys do it. Let the father take care of that shit. And we see Hagia and his boys, and they're like, yeah, we'll take care of that. But basically, like, they know. Well, at least, well, no, they all know now about how the Royal Guard, how they know, yeah, like, they're probably just there to gain our trust. But of course, we know this because we're smart, therefore, we will treat them accordingly. So he tells them, just do your job, just go, shoosh, kill them, yeah. And then there's a little scene with Knuckle. Knuckle wants to go there, and he explains how, yeah, we were tracking him down, but the hunters who were sent there by the association failed to kill or capture Cheetu. Therefore, we have to do something, because apparently, according to what he was saying, Colt had confirmed that the hunters had captured 390 Chimera Ants, but none of them were squadron leaders, according to Colt. So, and Cheetu is, of course, a squadron leader. There's 8 squadron leaders, and Cheetu's one of them. So, they gotta go take him out. Otherwise, he's gonna be a threat. And he says that his ability is working right now, but he doesn't know what's gonna happen once he reaches the king. He may gain some kind of new power, because I don't think Cheetu has no form of a unique name. So he may gain some new power, and then he may do something we don't know. But he's going to be a larger threat if they don't take care of him now. He calls in Morel, because Chu's like, okay, I'll go with you. Just call him Morel. Morel, if like a split second talks, then no, fuck that shit. He's mad, calls the association. He's like, yo, I told you to send this guy. I told you to send this guy, gets pissed, hangs up the phone. And this one, we find out some very intriguing stuff. Where apparently, alright, he believes that the Hunter Association purposely, especially the review board that is led by the vice chairman, the guy underneath Netero, purposely let some of the squadron leaders go. They had confronted 4 squadron leaders, probably including Chitu, and all 4 of them managed to escape. And the reason why he's assuming this is because the vice chairman may be up. Well, of course, if the squadron leaders are left amok and awry and they do their thing to the human population, to ecosystems, people are going to get upset. And they're going to blame everything on Chairman Netero, thus demanding his resignation. And then when it comes to the election, the review board and the vice chairman has hunters in his favor and he wants to keep them, he or she. Therefore, it would be good for his election if the chairman were to step down. So, in the midst of all this, we have a political game being played by those in power within the Hunter Association. We have a political play. They're literally allowing people and their ecosystems to be jeopardized by these squadron leaders, because we saw what Zazan did. By herself. By herself. We saw what she did. And they're allowing these people to be at risk just for political gain. So that's big. That's pretty damn big. That's big. That's big. So that, of course, means that the vice chairman may become more relevant later on as the series moves forward. But again, that's the general gist of what's going on in that section where Morel's talking to Note. And it actually gets a call from that one guy, Marcos. And of course, news is spreading all around the East Gorteau Kingdom about the whole, about the selection. And Nova says apparently it's not a big deal at all if the people know about the selection process. So, I mean, whatever, fine, screw it. But immediately after that, it's like, mirror, 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 mirror. Oh, no power alert. No, no. No, wait. No. It was literally on the TV. It was like, we have Kim Jong-un's like older brother come out. And he's like, yo, martial law. Straight the fuck up. I mean, this guy, he's dead, but still. Like, martial law. Yeah, we in. Alright? Stay in your homes. And if you guys come outside, you are immediately assumed to be a rebel. What kind of stuff? If you go outside, you are like, how extreme is that? Like, come on. But Killer was like, no, it's cool, man. We see him in the darkness. We see him in the shadows. And he's like, no, it's cool. Jets, tanks, doesn't matter. I'll get it done. So that's what episode ends. Episode rating overall. My personal opinion, I thought it was a good episode. I really did. I thought it was a good episode. It wasn't like, again, huge overall, but I thought it was solid. Let me bump it down OK plus, because I was being very nitpicky. I'll be honest, all right? I was being super nitpicky about the whole animation. I mean, when it came to story progression, it was obviously there, as always. When it came to character development, there's not really much character growth in the episode at all. But still, it's not big at all. I mean, there are a few things here and there that are very strange and are very eye-catching about its individual in the middle of nowhere just powering up and shit with Nen, or like there's a huge aura. And obviously, it's none of the Chimera Ants, because they're all where the king is. Well, actually, no, we don't know. Maybe, well, then again, because that's a huge aura. And that's like Royal Guard status right there. And I don't think any of the squad, maybe, my Gator, if he's like in the middle of fucking plateau power, I'm like, yeah! He's been training, like, for the hyperbolic time chamber right here. Yeah! He's ready to go. I'm gonna fuck everything. Yeah! That's my boy. Alright. But no, we good though, we good. The episode, overall rating, I'll give it OK plus. That's sufficient. But again, let me know in the comment section down below if you believe that there has been a change in the animation. I'm done. Rate, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice day.